Yo, what's going on, you guys? Your boy Pwny Montana, and the match coverage meta in Madden 23 is a very annoying one. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to attack it out of the gun bunch formation. It was something that was recommended. So again, if you guys recommend something, I'll try my best to find something to help you guys out. The gun bunch is one of the best formations in the game. It always has been, it always will be. There's nothing EA can do to stop people from running this formation. It's just it'll always be one of the best. It always has some of the best route combinations, and that's why people run it. People thought it was because of the blocking. The blocking was just an added bonus, but it's still one of the best. And the play that we're going to be looking at today is verticals out of the gun bunch formation. And on defense, we're just going to go check the coaching adjustments. As you can see, we are in match, and we're going to be calling the cover 4 quarters. And we're going to be on the short side of the field. The bunch side is going to be on the wide side. So if you guys don't know what that means is, and yes, I got my squigglies. So right now the ball is on here, right? So the wide side here, the bunch side here, means that these 3 receivers are on the wide side of the field. Okay, so the 3 receivers here have all this space because the ball is on the left hash. They have all this space to pretty much maneuver, meaning that they are on the wide side of the field. Okay, this is the short side, wide side. Okay, short over here, wide side over here. Okay, so if you guys are running bunch, a majority of the time most people run bunch with the bunch side on the wide side of the field, and that's exactly what we're gonna showcase today. But the first thing that I want to do when it comes to this match coverage stuff is I kind of want to showcase who matches up with who when it comes to cover 4 quarters against bunch. So I'm just gonna call a hike. I'm not gonna call a play. I'm just gonna work on my pocket presence here and absolutely zilch for pocket presence. So give me a 3 in pocket presence rating if we were to rate Madden players. But we are looking at the coverages and what everything guards. So obviously this guy is going to guard the #1 receiver. For some reason the quarter flat actually guards the wheel route, which I guess kind of makes sense because he is going towards the flat first. Absolutely bags it, but that means that this outside corner actually matches up with the interior route, which is kind of interesting. And then you got the safety that crosses paths. Both safeties cross path with the crosser. Crosser is actually kind of open, so we're actually going to leave that route there. And the reason why we're coming out in verticals is because you can find this play in every single gun bunch formation. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of bunch it is, you can find a verticals play coming out of it. But as you can see, these are the route concepts that are going on right here. Now, one of the main things that I like to do when it comes to the match coverage meta, so if you guys can see the defense, you've got 4 deep blues. You've got 4 deep blues here, quarter flat, deep zone, and deep zone, and then you got 2 quarter flats, right? In my opinion, I don't know how everyone else attacks the match coverage meta or the cover 4 meta in general, but the 3 rec is always going to be the weak side of the field. If you can figure out how to confuse the 3 rec, I think that is going to be the easiest way to destroy this match coverage meta. So one of the ways that you can do that is by putting a hitch on the field somewhere. A curl flat, a hitch, an in route, an out, like something where you're crossing paths with that 3 rec. And you can kind of cross paths with a hitch and then a post over the top. But the problem with a post over the top are these pesky deep zones here. If you cross their paths, if they see that you're running a route that is, I believe, above 10 yards, they'll end up matching against those routes. So if I run this verticals route, and I only run this verticals route, I'm just going to put everybody in flats. Those 2 safeties are going to end up matching up on that route. As you can see, once again, they're there pretty much guarding it. That's just what happens. Now, if I take that route away and I put the tight end there, then that safety is going to end up matching up against the tight end. As you can see, the safety ends up matching up against the tight end. He's within his zone, so he ends up completely just gluing on him pretty much. As you can see, the safety glues on that person now. Granted, we potentially could have highballed that there, but again, we don't want to live and die by that. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to do one thing that I do against almost every single coverage that I play now, is taking your outside receiver. I am currently in bunch myself, so this actually works for me because this is also helping myself in like learning different route combinations. But we're going to take O and put him on an out route. And the reasoning for that is because if we motion him out, all of a sudden we have a wide open out route. Now this is going to work against cover 3 and cover 4. So even if they're in cover 4 match, this is going to work against both of them, because this defense, this guy here isn't fast enough to go out as I motion this guy out. So he's not fast enough to actually go and guard that. Even if he was in a hard flat, it would take him a few seconds longer to actually get out there. Now, if he's in a hard flat, that means that some of our other routes are going to end up being wide open. So we're going to keep him here. And the reason why some of our routes will end up being wide open is because most people aren't going to sit there and either double Mabel, which is having like a quarter flat at like a 30 while having a hard flat at like a 5. They're going to sit there and they're going to shade up or shade underneath, which means that both of their zones are typically going to be at the same length on both sides of the field. So if you see that one guy is playing like a hard flat, that means that like the sidelines in a deeper territory are going to end up being wide open. So right now, this is going to be a read that you guys are going to be able to make against any match coverage defense, because you're going to be able to hit that as soon as he crosses over and potentially break a tackle and end up with a lot more yards. In this situation here, we end up getting a nice gain of 5, about 5 yards, which again, you can't go broke if you make a profit every time. And that's exactly what we want to do. Now, that is step number 1 to destroying match coverage. Step number 2 is you have to find a way to confuse the user in some way. And the user is going to be the 3-rec. So the 3-rec's going to end up following some kind of route. But currently right now we have 2 routes that are actually going to beat this match coverage. Not only is it this route, but we also have this crosser. Obviously we just overthrew that, but the crosser is actually wide open for a gain of about 30. And this is one of the best routes in bunch, year in, year out. As you can see, if you possession catch that, that's a catch 9 out of 10 times. Rack animations, kind of iffy, but against match coverage, this is gonna be open almost every single time. You're gonna be able to throw this open. Now, granted, my free form passing needs a little bit of work. But again, this is going to be an easy play for us to continue to pretty much dot up almost every single time. So now we have 2 separate routes that are going to work in your favor against this match coverage meta. Now we want a 3rd or a 4th, maybe a 5th. But right now we're always going to have a streak out on the field. I like to have a hitch. I like to have a short route and a streak somewhere on the field every single time. Those are two routes that I always want, either like a hitch and a streak, something short range and something long range, just in case they accidentally run commit. There's a lot of benefits to having a route that goes all the way up the field, because we're just going to end up, if someone accidentally run commits, I'm just gonna accidentally run commit here. But if somebody accidentally run commits, I know where the streak is already, which means I'm just gonna sit there and touch pass it over the top of the heads of everybody, and I'm gonna end up scoring a touchdown there. So we're gonna put O on an out route again. We're gonna leave that deep crosser, and now we want to try to find another route. Now, is the wheel route open with the tight end? No, it's not. As you can see, he's kind of glued onto him. It's going to be hard to kind of force that pass in. So what kind of route can we put that tight end to make him wide open? Let's try to see what happens on an in route. In route, wide open. Let's try a slant. The in route was wide open, but now let's try a slant. Slant actually ends up wide open because I have the cursor on the other receiver for the other controller, he ends up not following the streak up the field. But you know what, I'll run that one more time just to showcase it. So now we technically have two routes that are short range, while we have the crosser coming across the middle that's absolutely gonna destroy. Look at X is actually wide open on that streak. Absolutely beautiful. So now we have three routes with three different read progressions that you guys can actually go through. First off is going to be this. Obviously, if he's open, you're going to throw that 9 out of 10 times. Why? Because look at all the space you have. Do I have to bring the squigglies out for this? Look at all the space you have after the catch. You can make a lot of stuff happen with that amount of space. So that's going to be your first read. Your second read is going to be either the in route, the slant, and I'm about to try a drag next just to see. So let's see. Let's try the drag next. And I'm sure the drag is going to end up open as well. So the drag ends up wide open against this. Absolutely beautiful. So you have multiple routes that you guys can hit coming from that tight end alone. Now the only route that I haven't tried is a streak and a curl, but we don't want the curl because a 3-rec is definitely going to play the curl. But let's try. He kind of played that. I don't like that. We don't want to live and die by ags, obviously. So again, these are going to be the route concepts here. We have an out route, we have a slant or an in route or a drag. And now, is there anything that we could do with the running back? Because now we have 3 routes that end up wide open. 3 routes. Wide open, boom, boom, boom. Now, I believe that the running back is one of those routes where you kind of want to leave him as he is and just work with the 3 routes that you have. Getting 1 route open is kind of difficult. Getting 2 routes open, even more difficult. But we found a way to get 3 routes open in match coverage, which is absolutely beautiful. Wide open, wide open, and wide open. And these are all going to double as routes that you guys can utilize in different formations as well. But just in case they are in a cover 3, or if they're trying to confuse you, let's run kind of like a bunch trips tight end type of setup. Look, it honestly looks like the crosser play out of a bunch tight end. And then we're just gonna put the running back on an out route and see if we can make anything happen here. Same exact concept. Everything gets open as well. And we're literally, this is gonna be a play that you guys are gonna be able to run nonstop. So we're gonna put the running back on an out route. Let's actually just show the replay on that just to make it easy. So we can actually hit the running back really quick there. And then we can hit the slant, boom. And then we can hit the crosser, boom. And this is still our first read, by the way, who ends up wide open on the sidelines as well. So this right here is a perfect way to absolutely destroy this match coverage meta. Streak on the outside there. Put your running back on an out route. Put your tight end on a slant. Put your O receiver or your outside bunch receiver on an out route. You motion them out. Call hike. And we're going to go through all the reads here. Boom. That is a nice gain of 5 yards. Then we're going to do the same thing. Now let's hit the crosser. See, that time the crosser was actually bagged up. So it's interesting how this match coverage meta works. It's like the AI adjusted. And I'm not, listen, this video is not ending until I complete this pass to this crosser, because no. Just no. That's gonna be frustrating, like, and then throw out a sack. All right, you know what? You guys see me complete that pass. I'm not gonna sit here and waste your time all day, but obviously this is gonna be the best way. Screenshot this play right here, and you guys are gonna be absolutely destroying the match coverage meta. So again, boom. I'm not gonna pass lead it. No free form for me. No free form for me. We're just gonna sit there and complete our passes. And now let's hit the tight end. We're going all the way across here too. Now let's hit the tight end, because the tight end ends up wide open, pass lead it up, and you're going to be able to sit there and get a lot of yards there. Tackled at the 5. And now, last but not least, we're going to go ahead and hit we're going to go ahead and hit the running back as soon as he hits his break. We're going to hit the running back. Now, this is going to be one of those situations where you're going to want somebody, a Derrick Henry, a Mike Allstott, Adrian Peterson, if he ever comes out this year, like just a big body running back for you to pretty much go ahead and, you know, stiff arm or truck your way into a nice animation where you guys are going to be able to pretty much try to make a play happen. So Eckler is actually one of those guys. He's good enough for it, but obviously, you know, for the video, that's what you want if you guys are playing like Madden Ultimate Team or Regs or whatever the case may be. And the beauty about this beating match in this way is that you don't need any special routes. Like Eckler actually gets Texas routes and ghost routes and blah blah blah, but we don't need that. But just in case, just to test this out, it's there to help. And we end up gaining a lot more yards on that one. My name is Pwny Montana. Hopefully this video helps you guys out if you guys are running bunch and you guys are facing the match coverage meta, because I know bunch seems to be one of the harder formations to actually beat the meta out of, and this video should help you guys if you guys are struggling with that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, 2 fingers, deuces, and peace out, you guys.